Good morning, Year 9. This is Ms Gringeri, and I'm here to talk to you about your GCSE options that are going to start next year, which I know is really exciting, but can be a little bit worrying about knowing what to select. And so we are here to give you as much support as possible, even in a lockdown. So the choices that you've got to make are important for several reasons. Well, if you would like to study a certain subject at A level, then you should study it at GCSE. If there is anything that you would like to study at university, you should also study it at GCSE. However, that word I've just used is should, doesn't necessarily mean that you have to. So, for example, if you wanted to become a paleontologist, so that is someone that works with dinosaurs, then well, there isn't any paleontology GCSE or A level, but it might be worth doing something like English and science, which you have to do at GCSE anyways, and then you can select them for A level. So don't always worry about your GCSE options being the be all and end all. Plus, we always make sure that your core subjects that you have to study, that everyone selects. So we offer a really broad and balanced curriculum at Harris Garrard. At Key Stage 3, which is Year 7, 8 and 9, you study 17 different subjects. So that is really broad. So that means you have lots of subjects and it's balanced. So they're not all exactly the same type of subjects. And we think this is really important to develop you as really well-rounded, successful individuals. And we know that there are some subjects that you prefer than others, and that's fine. But we would be doing you a disservice if we didn't offer all of those subjects at Key Stage 3. Key Stage 4, we still believe it's important, and so we only narrow our curriculum down to around 10 GCSEs. So you can select 10 GCSEs. However, out of those 10, there are some that you have to do anyway, such as English, maths and science. Now, choosing the right GCSEs will help you to work out what you want to do when you're older. So, for example, if you pick music, that might really help you to realise, well, actually, I want to work in music when I'm older. But if you don't pick music and then you decide you want to do it later on, that's absolutely fine. They're not going to hold you back. In front of you is a timeline. So I've created this so that you can see the process that's involved in your GCSE option selections. So I'm going to start at the top, which is December 2020. Now, I know that's in the past, but you've already done the first bit where it says students complete a survey. So I guess it was about a month and a bit ago. I put together a PowerPoint and there was a bit of paper with it. And you selected on the top of your head which options you think you're going to select. Obviously, you might have changed your mind, but I wanted to get an idea of the sort of subjects you wanted to do. So that's already done. What I then wanted to do was give you an options booklet. And I wanted to hand that out in the last couple of days of term. Unfortunately, Year 9 was sent home due to staffing issues because of COVID. So instead, that will be posted home this week. And you probably have already received it in the post. Stage number 2, which is January, so this month. GCSE options assembly from Vice Principal. So you're in it right now. This is the assembly delivered by myself. The second thing is options page on website launched. So in the letter that was sent home with your options booklet, there is a URL to our website so that you can see how to get to that options page. But if you go to our website, there is a curriculum section and it will say Key Stage 4 options, and in there there's lots of information about our options. Stage number 3, early February 2021. What we wanted to do was for you to meet in person with a careers advisor. We are going to postpone those due to lockdown because we still want them to happen. At the end of February, there will be a virtual, so that means online, parents options information evening, and that will be delivered by myself, and I will be delivering a sort of a 5 to 10 minutes sort of speech on the information needed for your parents to help you choose your options, and then your parents will be able to ask us as many questions as they've got. Stage 4. This is in March. So if you're back in school after lockdown, then in March, every student is going to have a meeting, a one-to-one meeting with the heads of departments and also the senior leadership team to help you decide which options. We may end up having to do this virtually, but otherwise it will be in person, and then we can have a discussion about your options and what you finally decided to pick, and then we will process that. Then in April, letters will go home to your parents to confirm which GCSE options that you've selected. I did want to go back just to stage 1 about your options booklet. So that was posted home. Your tutors will have, or may have next week, I'm not sure because I'm recording this in advance, go through the options booklet with you so that you know exactly what to do with it, and that will really help you make some decisions. And then by March, we're hoping after all of this help, you'll know exactly which GCSEs you should pick. These are your different options. You can pick 4 options. The rest of it are chosen for you by the government, which are English, maths and science, etc. So number 1, you can choose history or geography. So that's our humanities option. Your second option is you can pick between GCSE computer science, sociology, business, health and social care, separate science, which used to be called triple science. That's extra science on top of the science that you have to do. CNAT, which means Cambridge National Information Technology. Your third option is GCSE DT. You can choose food instead, drama, dance, music, art and religious studies. And then what I will say is about religious studies, it was very popular this year, and so I imagine it will be popular again next year. And the fourth option, you have to do PE. There is something called National Curriculum PE or BTEC Sport. Now, BTEC Sport, you get to do 2 hours of practical and an hour of theory, and then at the end of your course, you end up with a qualification, and different sixth forms and colleges that you might apply for at the end of your GCSEs, they will ask for your grades. So if you do BTEC Sport, you get an extra grade whilst doing PE and some theory, whereas National Curriculum PE is theory only, and you don't get a grade or a qualification out of it. So BTEC Sport is the most popular option and the one that most people go for because you get a qualification and you still get to do lots of practical and an hour of theory. So BTEC Sport is the better option for you, but you do have the choice to pick between National Curriculum PE and BTEC Sport. So the government have made PE compulsory. That means you have to do it, but you have to choose between core PE, which was National Curriculum PE, and BTEC Sport. So just wanted to make that very clear. Now, triple science, which I've called separate science here because that's the proper name for it. So it used to be called triple science. I wanted to give you a little bit more information about it. So if you want to do triple science, then you have to have a passion for science. You have to love it. And you also have to be quite good at science because it's not particularly easy, but it is very interesting. And some of you probably really like science and you might think, well, I'm not sure I want to go into science, and so I don't want to use one of my options on triple science or separate science because I'm already going to do some science and I'm okay with that. So if you choose triple science, you have to have a really strong passion for it. You have to have a really clear rationale for wanting to study it. So if you do not pick it, you still get to do biology, chemistry and physics. It's just triple science means you do a bit more biology, a bit more chemistry and a bit more physics, and it might help you if you want to do it at A level. So if you don't want to study it after GCSE, you probably shouldn't pick it. However, you must demonstrate an aptitude for science on your assessments. So if you want to do triple science and you have a really strong passion for it, but you do quite badly in the tests at the end of this school year, then we can have that discussion with you about, possibly it's not for you. So just be prepared to use one of your remaining 3 option choices. So if I go here, if you pick triple science, you then can't pick anything else in this area for option number 2. Having said that, it is really interesting. And in your options booklet, it has the different topics that you study in it. And obviously I'm biased because I'm a science teacher. So some of you might be thinking, okay, so I've got a bit of information about these different courses, but don't really know what to pick. I need a bit of help. Well, there are some really bad reasons for why people pick certain subjects. Some of them are that your friends are doing it, and so you think, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. But you need to pick the choices that are right for you as an individual. So some of the poor reasons I've heard over the years, oh, but all my friends have chosen that subject, so I think I'm going to do it. That's a bad idea. Most option subjects have more than one class, so there's no guarantee you'd actually be in that lesson with your friends. So for example, if you all pick history, well, there's going to be more than one history class, so you may not even be with them. I really like my teacher, Mr. whoever or Mrs. whoever. Bad. If that teacher leaves, you won't have them anyways. But if you pick them based on teacher, you may actually not like the subject in the end. So don't do this. So definitely don't choose subjects because you like the teacher. Choose the subjects that are suited to yourself, your ambitions and your interests. So there's no guarantee that you'll be in that teacher's class. Teachers change classes all the time, they may leave the school, and then you're stuck with your choices for 2 years. So these are some other bad reasons. Your friends are taking it, you like the teacher, you think it's going to be easy. Your brother or sister to the subject. Oh, it's a new subject. I don't really know what it's about, so I'm going to pick that. Don't do that. So working through the careers booklet, by now you hopefully will have done this. You will have looked through your careers booklet and it may have helped you decide what to do. So I'd like you just to reflect on the discussion that we've just had. In your life, you've got lots of choices. Some of them you regret, some you're really proud of, some will haunt you forever. But ultimately, you become what you choose to be. So please don't pick things that your friends are doing because you think, oh yeah, I'll do that, my friend's doing that. Don't do that. Choose things for you. You'll be stuck with them forever. Yeah, you might make a bad decision and we can have that discussion and we can try and help you. But ultimately, you have to remember that even if you pick something and then you don't stick with it, you know, at the end of your GCSEs and you go on to do studying something different, don't worry. These GCSE options don't hold you back. But I wanted to give you as much information as I possibly could. Thank you very much, Year 9. Bye-bye.